Hey, welcome. It's Robert Bruton. Welcome to our vlog. I appreciate you coming out and taking a look at our vlog. And I want to do a post this morning really in support of an article that I wrote that you can find on my website. I actually put a link to the article in the description so you can take a look at it there. But I really wanted to tell you, I talk to a lot of people, and one of the things that everybody tells me in relationships and things like that is sometimes they get to a point where they're fighting, where there is just you can't stop. So this is for married couples and for boyfriend, girlfriend, significant others, whatever you're calling yourself today. If you have somebody that's real special to you and you guys are fighting, this vlog is for you, and so is the article in my blog post. So what can you do when you just can't seem to find a civil word to say to each other? And this is going to take both of you coming together and saying, okay, we can cease fire. We can stop for a few minutes and let's just be quiet. If you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. Your mother said that to you probably 1,000 times. So anyway, what you can do is basically a ceasefire, okay? And what we're wanting to do is, if you're willing to do a ceasefire, then what you need to do is come up with a story. I want you to be able to talk to each other about anything but what you're pissed about, okay? You can leave that stuff at the door. If you can do that, great. If you can't, then don't come to the party, okay? If you can't come and be nice and play nice, then don't come at all, okay? That's a big deal here. This is not an open invitation to fight. This is an open invitation to come and talk. And what you're going to talk about is anything that you want to talk about. It could be something you did as a kid. It could be something that you have done as an adult, something funny, something silly. It could be, something you enjoyed doing as a child, a book you read as a child that had an impact on your life. It really could be just about anything, okay? And both of you need to come prepared to talk about something like that. So this is something you need to set. It's almost like a date, okay? You're going to set a time so that you can come together and you can actually say, okay, I want you to give each other a hug before you start, okay? Just a genuine hug. You don't have to kiss. You don't got to do nothing. Just hug, okay? Just say hello. And then sit down somewhere uninterrupted, okay? So if kids got to go to grandma's, this is not a thing to do at a restaurant. We're not doing this over a meal. One big thing, no alcohol, no wine, no nothing. Coffee, Coke, water, I don't care, but no alcohol. Too much alcohol, if you get there and sit there and start, hammering down too much alcohol, then the alcohol's talking, not you, okay? So this needs to come from your heart, not from a wine bottle or from a whiskey bottle or from a beer bottle, okay? So we're making a commitment, no alcohol whatsoever, okay? None. Okay, don't cheat on me. Okay, so all right, so we've agreed that we can both come and talk. We've agreed that we're not going to talk not one word about what we're fighting about, not one word, okay? And we've agreed that we're going to come and just talk. All right, so sit down when you come to this time and make sure that you're at home, you're out on a park bench. You need to be somewhere where you can talk uninhibited and uninterrupted, all right? I want you to be able to get out what you want to say. Don't talk over each other. Let each other talk. Each of you is going to have a story. Each of you is going to have a time. And here's how you say who goes first. Rock, paper, scissors, okay? Rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors, okay? It's best 2 out of 3, all right? And then when you get there, whoever wins rock, paper, scissors, best 2 out of 3, that's who talks first, okay? This is not talking about somebody who segues into what we were fighting about. We're putting that aside. That was left out at the front door. Okay, leave it out at the front door. Don't bring it into this conversation. All right, or leave it wherever you got to leave it, but don't bring it to this time. All right. So take your time and come up with something that you want to talk about. It could, then again, it could be anything, and then talk. Okay, just talk. And if you're talking, okay, what are we doing? Other person, we're listening. Okay, we're listening intently. Okay, we're focused on what this person is saying and sharing with us, because the shoe's gonna be on the other foot in a little while. Okay, please try not to make it some big long drawn out thing, but don't make it, a couple minutes and go, okay, your turn. Think of something, talk. Okay. And if someone asks you a question, that's okay. Hey, did you do that when you were a kid? Engage in the conversation, okay? But talk about anything but what you're fighting about. Anything, okay? And then you don't end it by, let's say you had a moment. Don't sit there and go, see, we can talk. No, don't, yes, you can. You absolutely can talk, but this is not the time to be crowing about it, okay? This is a time to listen and talk, all right? So keep that in mind when you're communicating, is to just keep it real casual, keep it real, easy. The other things that I would like for you to try when you're doing this is, when you're all said and done, then think about something that made you fall in love. What is one thing that this person did that absolutely stole your heart? And I want you to share that. Each of you share one thing that you say after you've had a nice conversation, as long as nothing's gone wrong. Then say, okay, what is one thing and you need to maybe make a couple of notes. Read the article, and you'll have a kind of a little checklist of stuff to do. But find something that you really love about the person that you're sitting there with, okay? Because obviously you do. And if you got to that point and you can communicate without fighting, okay, and just communicate, all right, then obviously there's something there. Obviously there's something to bring you back to where you need to be, okay? So communicate, talk, and think of something that you can do that's going to let that person know, wow, I did, try to think of something when you're thinking about something that made you fall in love with that person. Maybe it's something you have never shared with them. That would be a nice surprise. Okay, if you can think of something, well, I've never told him or her that, okay, and I think I'm going to share that with them, and it needs to be something that really touches your heart, really touches it strums a chord, okay? And it needs to be a happy medium. Where it goes from there is up to you guys. If you need to just do this and then walk away for a little bit, think about it, come back to each other. Try not to bring back into a good experience. If let's say you meet up after work, okay, and you're at home and you meet up after work, and you guys haven't talked for a couple days, it's been real tense, that type of thing. Then, try to just be okay with just that much, okay? Don't try to make it into more than it needs to be. Just try to be okay with, we made some progress, we took a step forward tonight, and maybe the best thing is, when you go to bed tonight, maybe just reach over and hold each other's hand. You don't get intimate, don't, just try to, if it's not going to, I should preface that by saying, if you're going to be intimate, make sure that it's for the right reason. Make sure that it's where you're actually going to let go of this fight, where you're going to move on from it, okay? If you can't move on from it, okay, then just be present in the moment. Just hold your partner's hand, okay? Just fall asleep holding each other's hand. You don't have to be or just fall, if you want to say, hey, come here and cuddle up with each other and just go to sleep that way. But don't bring an intimate evening into it unless you're absolutely prepared to let it go. Okay? And if you can't let it go, or you haven't come to some resolution, okay, there's always a common ground to stand on. If you haven't found that common ground yet, then just enjoy the moment and enjoy the fact that you were able to not fight, not get all upset over things that you need to be chilled about. Okay, so remember that you love each other. Remember there's a reason that something really special brought you together. Something real special about each other brought you together. Don't lose that. Okay, don't lose that. And so if you can't talk, we're going to recap a little bit here, and I'm gonna knock this off a little bit. But recapping, we're trying to come up with a ceasefire moment where we can get together uninterrupted. Kids go to grandma's, no interruptions. Cell phones go off. Okay, no alcohol. Okay, alcohol tends to loosen tongues a little too much, and if we get excited, then all of a sudden now we're back at square one fighting. No alcohol. Coffee, Coke, sure. Water, absolutely. Smoothie, sure. Okay, whatever you want, just no alcohol. All right. And so come up with something that you can talk about, and I always go back to, and in my articles and teaching and things is I always say, try to find something that you haven't really ever shared with anybody. Something you did in your childhood that was silly, funny, something you did in college that was silly, funny, something you did in your life that was silly, funny, maybe something that gets you guys laughing a little bit. Okay, and if you can't find that in a story, then don't worry about it. Don't make this more than it has to be. Just share something, about yourself that you can go, this is something that really makes me smile and feel happy. And you share that moment, okay? And you share a little bit about it, Maybe it's a story about your mom, your dad, your cousins, your uncles, somebody you grew up with. It could be about anything. A teacher that touched your heart, a moment that touched your heart, a moment that maybe, man, I'm glad I lived through this, There's all kinds of things that you could think of that if you sit down for a little while and really kind of meditate on it and figure out what you want to do, okay? As far as a conversation, what conversation do you want to have? And you guys need to think about that before you come together. Don't just do this off the cuff, okay? Do this with a little planning, all right? And like I said, cell phones go off. Do your apps. I don't give a crap you can give. You're not too damn busy to give yourself, 30 minutes or an hour of time to save your relationship, okay? And to certainly find some common ground to stand on. For those of you that are younger, here's one of the things that I'll touch on a little bit, and I'm actually working on an article about this, is fighting to win. I don't care how right you think you are. I don't care, this is, I'm right, she or he is, I'm absolutely 110% right. Maybe you are, okay? But this is your partner. This is somebody that you need to have a moment to say, okay, I can find a common ground here. I can find some way for us to coexist happily without me being 110% right, even if you are, okay? Because someone will come around, but if you sit there and go, I'm right, you're not, blah, 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 blah. No, damn it, no. Okay, stop that, all right? Just find something that you can communicate about that's jovial and happy, okay? And don't be Debbie Downer, okay? Don't get into you guys can make it. That's the whole thing, is if you just try, you can make it. It's not a problem, If you feel like you're at a dead end with someone, then think about what made you fall in love with this person and go tell them, okay? Tell them at the end of this conversation, this is why I fell in love with you. This is what I need from you. What do you need from me? Sorry, but it's a two-way street, okay? You need stuff from each other, all right? And it's real easy, believe me, I've lived this and I know. It's real easy to forget that you get complacent, you get where you don't pay attention, okay? Because you let your mind get off on other things. And this is about you two. This is about two people, okay? And this is getting back together and learning to communicate without communicating about what we're fighting about. Just talking is going to make all the difference in the world. Try it. I promise it will. Okay. If it looks like it, or if it starts escalating into a fight, cease fire. Do not. If you get in a fight, then just walk away. Then if you can't even do this, then you really need to go get some professional help. This is advice. This is not professional help. Okay, so go get some professional help. Get into couples counseling. Find a pastoral counseling center. Find a marriage counselor. Whatever you got to do, but get some help. Okay, because I'm not it. All right, I'm here to give you some advice and some sage life advice, things that I've lived through, things that I've shared with other people, and things that I share in all my writing. Okay, and it works for me. It's it's things that sometimes you learn things a day late and a dollar short, and believe me, I'm there. Got several T-shirts for that. But the cool thing is if you can talk and you can communicate, guess what? You can. Then now we can start talking again. And a lot of times you'll figure out what you're fighting about. You can't even remember. It's been let's say you have days, then you can't even remember what the hell you were fighting about. So, it's up to you. Okay? So find a place, make a date, talk about anything, and then if you've successfully done that, I want you to share one thing. You may come up with more, but at least one thing that you say, sweetheart, this is the reason that I fell absolutely madly in love with you. And you share that, okay? And then it's a hug and a kiss. And if you are in the same home, I pray, then, hold hands. When you go to bed tonight, just hold hands. If you want to cuddle up, great. If you want to put your arm over one or another and both of you are okay with it, then just be that. Be that for just that moment, okay? The fight, we can work that out, okay? That can work out as you go, okay? But just learn to talk again. And it has to be about anything, all right? So, thank you. If you like my vlog, please subscribe, and I've got a link to the article that I'm talking about directly in the description down below. And thank you for watching through, and I appreciate it. And go talk, go get healthy again, okay? And thanks so much, and we'll talk to you soon next time. Thanks.